This is the story of David Jerome, the visionary and property tycoon turned gem hunter, the man behind one of the most breathtaking gemstone collections in Europe. From glittering red carpets to the farthest reaches of the earth, his journey has been driven by a bold ambition, rare discoveries, and a passion that shines as brilliantly as the jewels he spent a lifetime pursuing. This is the man who turned sparkle into a legacy. From the East End markets to the Hollywood Hills, from the streets of Colombia to the mines of Tanzania, a young man's journey touches lives across the globe, spreading a little sparkle on everyone he meets. The king of colour, the sultan of sparkle, the man who set fire to his own salon 3 times in the pursuit of a dream. The inventor who took America by storm, proving that life and hair are a lot more fun when you throw in some glitter. In a world of black and white, one man dared to dream in technicolour. David Jerome, the salesman, the visionary, the gemstone collector. The man who turned sparkle into a legacy. It's 1943, wartime London. The East End is gritty, chaotic, and brimming with life. And in the middle of it all, a boy named David Jerome is born. 4 children, parents, grandparents, one building on Hessel Street. It was cramped, it was noisy, it was home.
We didn't know we were poor. We were happy. We used to dance in the streets. We used to play on the bomb sites. Everyone had to work. You had no money coming in. And all the kids in Hessel Street, we used to go down into the chicken market, and our job was to pluck chickens. This is what we had to do. I used to help my grandfather. He had a fruit stall. Everyone knew Sammy Dryer. He was a great boxer, but he had a fruit stall in the market.
David's first lesson in presentation, polishing apples till they glowed. A hint, even then, of his lifelong obsession with colour and shine. After the war, his father, a former quartermaster sergeant, returns to civilian life.
He was a fanatic. Everything had to be perfect. So really, I'm very much like that.
By 9, David's hustling parrots at Club Row. Tough little trader, quick talker, fast learner.
I was very sporty. I was a great runner. Well, in the East End of London, you had to be a great runner. You had to run away from everything. There were always gangs there. They picked on me. When I got home, I remember my dad saying, "Son, you're going in the ring. You're going to learn to box." Because you had to learn to do these things in the East End of London. You had to look after yourself.
One day, a Rolls-Royce glides past. A flash of leather and chrome. A fleeting fantasy of success.
And I said to my friends, "Do you know, I want one of them. I'm going to have one of them one day. I want one of them one day." And they all laughed at me. Because that was a different world. That was a very different, rich world up there. And I decided in them days, everything I fight for, everything I work for, is going to be for the Rolls Royce. I was always getting the cane. I just didn't want to go to school, couldn't read or write, not interested. And then eventually my dad took me out of school when I was 11 to help him in the markets.
Up at 4 a.m, helping his dad buy fruit at Spitalfields. Then off to the market to sell ladies' hats. All colours, all styles.
Dad's hats, they weren't just black and grey and no colour. The hats in them days were beautiful colours.
The boy had hustle in his blood and colour in his soul.
So one day my father said to me, son, he said, you're going to have to take up a trade. I don't want you working in the markets like me all your life. I said, what do you mean, trade? I didn't even know what the word meant. He said, well, you're going to be either a cutter and designer or you're going to be a hairdresser. I said, Dad, a hairdresser? What do you mean a hairdresser?
Hairdressing wasn't his first choice, but his dad had put his foot down. At the age of 16, David was apprenticed at Scott's on Tottenham Court Road. 3 years of sweeping floors and washing hair, and he hated every minute of it, until Madame Suzette arrived. Parisian, polished, a professor of colour and cutting, she didn't just teach hair, she taught art. For David, she was a revelation.
Madame Suzette, she changed my mind, and about hairdressing, I really wanted to be great at it. I wanted to be the best hairdresser, and I did become very good. But I started to love colour. Another stepping stone in my life of colour.
By day, he styled. By night, he sold ice cream till 11 p.m. because he needed the cash. Home by midnight, up again at 4, all for the dream. Life was about to get a whole lot better. On holiday in Italy, he spotted her. A young girl reading a book. That was Audrey.
And I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, she's got the book upside down. And then she kept going like this, looking over the top. And then all of a sudden she said, do you want to go out tonight?
They fell in love. David showed her father his calloused hands and said, I'll work hard for her. They married in 1966. David was 23, Audrey was 19.
David had nothing when I met him, but he had ambition. His mum and dad, they worked in the markets all the time, and they didn't make much any money at all. In fact, we used to go around to his dad and he'd be sitting on deck chairs. They didn't have furniture for years. All I remember is sitting on deck chairs for years. That's the only chairs they had. He's a type A personality, and type A is like Anna Sugar and all these other boys, Graf, and all that. They all come from the East End and they all worked extremely hard. No one's given them anything.
No money, no collateral, just charm, ambition, and a vision. To open his own salon. David convinced the local bank to give him a loan.
I went into the bank manager and told him what I want. I said, well, the only thing I've got is these. And you'll never find anyone that will work harder than me with these. And he said, do you know what? I'm going to lend you the money.
He opened his first salon in Chigwell, next to a bustling factory. Open late for the night shift crowd.
It was like a club. I made it like a club. It was fun in my shop. You know, clients would sit on each other's laps while they're under the dryer. And the towels needed washing. I used to say, Mrs. Smith, do me a favour. Can you take those towels into the laundrette for me? Yeah, no problem, David. It was like a family shop.
His brother Alan joined him. The business boomed. At 24, David drove home in a Rolls Royce. Remember that dream?
Well, I had the first rolls when I was 24. I was floating. I was floating on air.
But David wasn't finished. Not by a long shot.
Every Christmas, clients would give you a Christmas card, and I remember getting glitter on my fingers. And I've got it on the client's hair, and I looked at it and I thought, oh, it's come from a Christmas card. And I said, I'm sorry, Mrs. whoever her name was, but I've got to wash your hair. Look, the glitter has come off on your hair. And she went like this to the mirror. She looked in the mirror, she said, David, I love it. I said, what do you mean you love it? She said, I like it. We've got the party tonight, and it's all sparkly, and I like it. And the next customer said, that really looks nice. David, can you put some on my hair? And then my brother said, what an idea. What an idea.
And London was ready for it. The 80s had arrived. Everything was brighter, bolder, louder. Fashion, music, art, except hair. Hair was still playing it safe. Not for long. David, driven, starts tinkering with glitter and hairspray. Only problem, he can't read chemical labels. Result? Fire number 1, almost burned down the salon. Fire number 2, same. Fire number 3. This one was different. It was devastating.
I got completely burnt. I was still on fire, and I remembered I had the fire extinguisher just outside. I got that. My junior, also his trousers caught on fire. I got the fire extinguisher, and I got both of us out with the fire extinguisher. They took me to hospital. They'd never thought that I'd move my fingers again. I was so badly burned. I was a mess.
That was it. David had to reevaluate everything. No more scissors. It was glitter or bust. He perfected his formula, found a manufacturer, and suddenly, boom, his spray was everywhere.
We sold to Boots. We sold to Superdrug. We sold to Harrods. We sold to Selfridges, every big company. They used to call me the Peter Pan of the hair products.
Overnight, everyone wanted in. Clubbers, models, rock stars, drag queens. David's glitter spray turned dance floors into galaxies, turned everyday people into supernovas.
We were doing all the shows, my brother and myself, but I was a lunatic that got out there spraying everything that moved. If it moved, they got sprayed. Can you imagine how much fun we had?
Sales exploded. David and his brother weren't just running hair salons anymore. They were running a glitter empire.
From the glitter, then we started manufacturing colour hairspray. Then I invented the punky colours that you put on your hair. Everything was brilliant colours. It didn't matter what I touched, it turned to gold.
David's father-in-law had a hunch. If Brits love it, imagine America. So David packed a suitcase and crossed the pond. His brother took over the UK. David took to the States.
My life, as soon as I got to Los Angeles, was working day and night, and I'm talking day and night.
But East End smarts and hard work pay off. Endless trade shows, rubbing shoulders with celebrities and CEOs, sealing deals with charm and hustle. Big risks, big rewards. Walgreens, Walmarts, CVS, glitter went mainstream. The orders rolled in. America couldn't get enough.
It was making everywhere very colourful. You went into a disco, kids are all wearing my glitter. And not only are they spraying it on their hair, they're spraying it all down their clothes because it's sparkling. You've now got Diana Ross wearing it on stage. You've got all the stars wearing it when they're singing it. And all of a sudden, we hadn't really realised how famous we'd made the company.
David took America by storm and proved that life and hair are a lot more fun when you add colour and some glitter. By 1998, the company was at its peak and worth a fortune. And after 15 years in America, David decided the time had come to sell the business.
Yes, I sold the company, and obviously we did very well. Very lucky, and we did very well. We'd had a wonderful life in America. And then I decided, and with Audrey and the kids, we decided to come back from America.
Home again. A slower pace, a quieter life, not a chance. But soon after David's return, sadly, his father passed away. In the days that followed, David uncovered a hidden treasure. Boxes of old jewellery, quietly collected over the years from market stalls and trades. Rings, necklaces, bracelets, tucked away, saved for a rainy day.
There was red stones, there was blue stones. I didn't know what they were. I had no idea really about jewellery.
It hit him like a lightning bolt. Colour, sparkle, legacy. This was the next chapter. Then came a Caribbean cruise and a fateful encounter with a tanzanite. A gem that shimmered from blue to violet. David was captivated.
It was amazing that this stone could absolutely hypnotise me. And I came back with these stones, and then I decided I want to find out where these stones are born. You know, where do they come from?
What began as a hobby quickly spiraled into a full-blown obsession, one that would take him across continents, into the depths of the Earth's most remote and treacherous places. Learning along the way, he became the Indiana Jones of gemstones. From the jungles of Colombia to the sapphire mines of Sri Lanka and Tanzania, from the shadowy streets of Burma to the vibrant bazaars of Jaipur, David chased not just stones but knowledge, history, and the planet's rarest treasures. Danger, guns, corruption, bandits. David faced them all, armed with only charm, tenacity, and an unerring eye for perfection.
Yeah, I was very brave, but I didn't know I was brave. I didn't think. You know, no one tells you what danger you're in. And yeah, I've been to some really very dangerous places. You learnt always to have guards with you. I had the guts, and everyone would say, "You're stupid doing that. What did you do that for?"
He built real relationships with the men at the rock face, mine owners and workers. His golden rule? First, we become friends.
And I was learning all the time. I was with these people. I lived with these people. We had tents around these people. And they became my friends.
He quickly realised the next step was finding the very best artisans to cut his stones. In the gem world, cutters are the quiet artists, the ones who bring each stone to life. With every careful cut, they reveal the fire within. They take what nature gives and make it shine.
And I was told to go to India, a place called Jaipur. And yeah, they were amazing to me in India. Amazing country, amazing people. And the colours in Jaipur, as soon as you walk around the streets, you're seeing the ladies with their scarves and their bright colours. And I love these colours. And the people that had the cutting shops, I couldn't believe what I saw. I saw men on their knees, legs folded on the floor, and their cutting was so superb. A lot of my stones were cut in India. I have had stones cut in Israel. I've had stones cut in Germany. And of course, their work is magnificent as well. "30
years on, he has collected over 3,000 stones. Burmese rubies, Colombian emeralds, Ceylon sapphires, morganites, paraibas, spinels, each one selected and curated with obsession. Each one a burst of colour with its own story. He once spent £1.5 million on a single emerald. And then he started designing. Creating heirlooms from Earth's rarest stones, gems into the finest jewellery. Completely self-taught, his designs are as brilliant and captivating as the man himself.
Every ring has got a design. That's what I loved. And then all of a sudden you put the stone to your new design and it's wow, every time. It didn't matter what I was doing. You can see there are designs here. You've never seen anything like these. You can go to shops. You won't find them. They're not there.
There's a reason why his collection is sought after by private buyers and collectors. Quite simply, the quality of the stones and designs are exceptional.
At that time, there was no thought in my mind, I'm going to sell them. I was doing it for me. Even now, I just look at them and I'm mesmerised. And I show people, and their reaction thrills me. That's the excitement I get.
Today, he has one of the largest private jewellery collections in Europe. In a world of mass production and instant gratification, the David Jerome collection stands apart, a monument to patience, connoisseurship, and the eternal allure of the natural world. Now, in his later years, David has made the heartfelt decision to part with his beloved treasures.
I've decided now that the time has come to start selling them. So that's the idea now. Oh well.
He hopes to see the collection preserved and appreciated without leaving the responsibility to his family. He wants to pass the stones on to those who will truly cherish them, allowing their journey to continue and their beauty to inspire a new generation. Long may they sparkle.
All these things I've done in my life, everything comes out as brilliant colours. I love sparkles, and the sparkles are in the ring. The sparkles was in the glitter. The colours were in the colour hairspray. The colours are in the stone. Colours, every colour brings me to life.
From the market stalls of East London to the mines of Africa, from glitter-sprayed catwalks to Sotheby's auctions, David Jerome turned hustle into heritage and colour into legacy. Self-made, self-taught, slightly eccentric, entirely unforgettable.